again. It's been a while since I've been on here on this channel. Like many of you, I am still adjusting, even though it's been 3 weeks now since this whole COVID virus started impacting our lives severely. And I have now my 2 children at home with me all the time, and it has significantly impacted my usual schedule. I haven't really talked about who I am, and maybe I'll just leave that for another video, but for now, I think one thing to underscore here is that I am an anthropologist, and what anthropology is basically, in a nutshell, the study of culture, humans, what we do, how we have lived, how we think, what we say, everything that has to do with the human experience, past and present. And part of being a cultural anthropologist for me is using tools like ethnography, so really storytelling. How do people tell their stories? What do they say in their stories? Origin stories, stories about themselves, stories about their culture, stories about how they explain the world. And it really kind of goes hand in hand a little bit with what are the stories that we're telling ourselves now. One of the things that I've caught myself saying before many times over is I am not cut out to be a stay-at-home mom. I am not cut out to be a homeschooler. I'm glad that there are plenty of parents, primarily women, who do this, are able to do this, have chosen to do this for any number of reasons. Good for them. But I chose to go the career path, and yeah, there are sacrifices to make in a situation like that, right? But tried as much as I could to not sacrifice my children, but still leave their education, their early childhood development education, in the hands of people who actually go to school for this. And now, like so many other parents, primarily moms, I am in this boat now of having to be a stay-at-home mom and develop keep developing my business, my consulting firm, my coaching practice, and also homeschool. And that has been a challenge. But ultimately, going back to what's the story that I've told myself, is I've told myself this story that I'm not cut out for that. And truly, like with anything else in life, your ability to adapt to that changing situation, my ability to adapt to this changing situation, obviously it means that I'm going to figure it out, right? We can figure it out. We can figure out how to deal with these challenges. I have yet to totally figure out the scheduling issue so that it works well for both of my children. My daughter's 5.5, my son is almost 3, and how it works with me, making food, again, having my own career responsibilities and my business meetings, and there are a lot of different things that I'm involved with right now, and how to manage all of that is part of what I have had to adapt to. I tend to have a very flexible schedule, not that that always works well for me, but right now I'm really having to adapt to having a lot more structure in my day, having a lot more structure in my week, planning out my meals, which is something that I've done before, primarily for when I was doing competition preps for bodybuilding competitions. It's one of the many things that I've done with my life and I love doing. And so now I've had to adapt what I know from that to what is going on now, how to meal prep for my family and things like that. So it's an adjustment, but we can adapt. But again, going back to that story, is what are the stories that you have told yourself about what you are able to do or not able to do, how you're dealing with these changes right now, whether it's a small, in quotations, change like having your children at home, or whether it's a big change like losing your employment, right? That's a really big adaptation to make, and it brings up a lot of anxiety, a lot of fears, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of things that we will need to figure out collectively, but individually as well. So really, I just want to kind of use that as just a little example of a story that I've told myself that I know is not really true. When the time comes, I can adapt, and so can you. So right now, think about the stories that you've told yourself, and think about whether those stories are true or not. Okay, 'cause sometimes we deceive ourselves with those stories. What can you tell yourself right now? How can you change your narrative? How can you rewrite a story that is not serving you right now so that you can move forward instead of being held back by that story? So I will see you next time. Hopefully it will not take me this long to get back online and do a video. But in the meantime, if you'd like, comment below and give me an example of a story that you've told yourself that is no longer serving you. And I'm happy to work with you on rewriting that narrative. But you know deep inside your truth, and you know what stories you told yourself that maybe you need to take another look at, and maybe you need to retell in a different way. Have a great one.